I gotta check my noggin here. You know, for some reason, because I'm a dinosaur, Sammy's allowed to use a cell phone as a weapon in a match, and it's not a DQ. I think I'm gonna take that up with Human Resources. But we're on the the AEW Discord. I think it's now becoming the official Discord of AEW, which is like a chat thing that you can download. I think there's links for that being sent. You can find it. I linked it on Twitter. I know they're talking about it on the Instagram now. But anyway, it's a cool place to go in and chat. You get updates on everything. So I'm going to read off some questions from the people and try to type in their answers, because I'm supposed to actually, I told them I'd answer it in there, but we're also here, so I'm trying to be cool. Try to make everyone happy. Oh man, my head. Jeez, okay, focus. So someone's asking first my favorite dinosaur. I think I answered that already. It's my mother. We'll leave it at that. She doesn't like to be out in the spotlight, but so I'm not going to send out her Twitter or Instagram or anything like that. Let's see what else. Game system of choice. I'm going to type that simply, Nintendo. I love Mario, mainly because of my boy Yoshi. I love the Yoshi. Let's see what else we got here. Did you take a knock to your nuts in that match with Sammy? That's a personal question. Jeez. We'll move on from that. Favorite cosplay? I don't really have a favorite cosplay, I don't think. Maybe I'll say, can I say Lancelot? Is that a cosplay for cosplay? Because I'm big into the Arthurian romances. That's what I did my thesis in. I think we talked about that last week on the air. Let's see what else we got here. I had a question or two, but then it dawned on me that this is really happening. Oh, so I mean, they're starstruck. That shouldn't be. That's not right. Awesome match tonight. Yeah, I'll just read off those. Not even a question. Awesome match tonight. How has AEW been so far compared to your expectations, and what are your goals for your time there? Gee, that's a big question. I think my goals are mainly to try to be entertaining with my matches, put on entertaining matches, but do it a little differently, do it my style, which is a lot of the Taekwondo, martial arts stuff. For a big guy doing that, it's different, and it's something I pride myself in because it's what I'm passionate about. So I like to bring that into my art form, if you will. So as long as I can kind of do that as a bigger guy wrestling, it'll make me happy. Let's see what else we got. How many times could you bench Marco? I don't really do a lot of bench pressing, guys. I'm more into like I used to do a lot of the bench pressing, but that's not how I work out anymore. I do a lot more gymnastic stuff, push-ups, things like that. I'm trying not to tear my fuck. Oh, can I cut? Sorry, I don't want to cut. Well, okay. I'm trying to be safe with my body here. I'm 65 million years old. Let's see here. You did a great job tonight. Oh, man, I don't know if that's true, but thank you. How many times could you bet? We did that one. What was your match of the night? Well, honestly, I didn't see any other matches. I was trying to warm up so I don't tear anything anymore. So I'll have to get back to you on that. Let's see what else we got. Still have your autograph hanging on my wall from House of Hardcore. Whoa, man, that's crazy. I autographed something there. Did you guys get your sauna put together? Oh, that's funny. So I ordered a, these joints need to be healed. So I ordered one of those infrared saunas for your place. So actually, it came in like 4 boxes, and they wouldn't even deliver it into the house. I had to actually go down and do it with the guy. And like, I can't lift those boxes. I mean, come on. I'm trying not to blow out another hamstring. So last I know is that I left my girlfriend and my Father-Saurus, to put it together today. So hopefully it's together by the time I come back, because my head's hurting from the cell phone Sammy hit me with, for sure. Let's see here. Oh, someone liked the Lancelot joke. Okay. What's tougher, AEW or Big Brother? Well, mentally, I would say the Big Brother show was much tougher. It definitely was it's a dark time in this Luchasaurus' life, and I've rebounded somehow and found a home here, which has been very nice. Everyone's kind of welcomed me with open arms. The crowd's been very receptive to myself, Jungle Boy, and Marco. So I've been enjoying that. Let's see what else we got. Can you recommend a fun piece of medieval literature to read for someone who doesn't have a master's degree? I wouldn't say any of it's fun. It's very hard to read. Like, if you actually read something from the Middle Ages, it's like, people used to ask me, because I was actually a teacher for a while when I was doing my master's degree, and I would teach Western Civ to students that were kind of freshmen, and they would sometimes be reading some of the books, and they'd ask me questions about, like, hey, when Lancelot did this, I'm like, I don't know. I never actually read the full book. When you're like a master's student, you learn how to take certain excerpts and study them, and learn to interpret them for things, and it's so time consuming. But if you actually want to read something from that time, I'd say the Decameron is a good one. And then the Arthurian romances by Chrétien de Troyes that I did my thesis on, they're actually kind of interesting stories. You could get into it, potentially. Just find a good translation. Hey there, question mark. Well, that's an interesting question. Let's see here. I have a question coming from a group. If you were to be any dinosaur found in Purdue's frozen dinosaur nuggets, who would you be? I don't know what that means. I hope they're not insulting me. We're going to move on from that. And I guess I'm going to type these out later because I'm supposed to be typing, but I can't do two things at once. Thank God I don't have gum in my mouth. Okay, favorite part? No, we did the Big Brother thing. I have another question. Is Jungle Boy more handsome in person? Well, he's pretty much a dreamboat, either way, TV or otherwise. So, you can bat his eyes at anything. Damn. What do you put on hot dogs? I don't eat hot dogs. First of all, I only eat grass-fed meats now. I've kind of converted, and I'm making sure that everything I eat is, farm-raised and grass-fed. So I'm being careful about that kind of stuff. Or not even farm-raised. I'm doing wild stuff too now. I've gotten into the whole carnivore thing a little bit more. So I know they said I was a herbivore on the thing. We'll play with it. I tried that out for a couple million years. I didn't really start putting on size until I went carnivore, though, to be honest. But, different strokes for different people and species. Hey, Luchasaurus, your thoughts on what Chris Jericho said about you not being a legit dinosaur? Okay, so I heard about this, that he called me out and said I wasn't a legit dinosaur. Well, first of all, he hasn't seen the DNA results, so he doesn't even know what he's talking about. I've already had one of those ancestor kits done recently, and I am half dinosaur. So if that to him doesn't make me a legit dinosaur, I don't know what does. You go tell me another dinosaur that you can find out there that isn't someone cosplaying a dinosaur, because we've gone over the Barney thing. So it's an insult that he said that, but I don't expect anything less from Jericho, because that's the kind of things he wants to take low blows and go after the dinosaur thing. And I told him, just leave the dinosaur thing out of this and just treat me as a wrestler. I'm just another wrestler that wants to get by on his merits. It doesn't matter whether or not, you want to think that, a dinosaur can wrestle or not. Just forget that I'm a dinosaur, I just want to be treated like anyone else. But anyway. Thoughts on Witcher coming to Netflix next week? Excited or not? Honestly, I haven't really watched anything on Netflix in a while. I don't watch anything anymore. What happened to me? I think I'm always stretching. I think I go home and I stretch until I come back here next week. I'm trying to stay healthy. It's the 65 million year old hips, man. I got to get back into some popular culture stuff. So if you guys have recommendations for me, I should get back into it. I need to do that. I'm trying to read again, and I haven't done that forever. Okay, what do you think about the loose nature of the tag team rules in AEW? Do you think AEW needs to tighten them up? That's a good question, because here's the thing. I think that everyone needs to kind of look at AEW as what it is. It's a different brand of entertainment, and we're not playing by rules established by other companies for decades and decades. We're kind of creating our own thing. We're creating our own new paradigm, right? So really, the rules are kind of up to us to create. I think people need to kind of relax and try to compare it to other things and just kind of enjoy it for what it is, because I'm a dinosaur. What rules does a dinosaur follow, right? It's already absurd to begin with. So I think it's just a matter of if it's not for you, it's not for you, whatever. But I think that I like rules being looser because it allows me more creativity. I still want to make sense of things and keep things, cohesive for an audience, obviously. But I think that the traditional rules of wrestling, as known throughout time, need to evolve, like my species, right? So, at least that's what I'm trying to do with what I do. I do think about these things, will you be at ringside to support Jungle Boy in his match against Jericho? Oh, of course I will. I'm going to be there with a stopwatch and a bucket of waters. Probably most of the water for me to stay hydrated so I don't tear something, while I'm, focused on him. Okay. What do you hope to see in the women's division in the coming months? Well, I think, they're doing, they just signed a couple new people that I think are really interesting. It's exciting. I like the idea of just, bringing in different people. I know everyone wants to compare it to other companies right away and go, okay, well, these girls do this, these girls do that. I think just give it time to evolve like anything else and to see where it goes. Everything's so new. And I think, as time goes, there's going to be more and more, stars that start to form and people are like, wow, I never saw that coming. So I think it's going to be fine. And I think it's just like anything else, it's going to take time. Do you have a favorite artist, piece of art from the medieval era? You know, I definitely did at one point, and I just don't remember. I guess it would be the stuff I did on the theory and romances. If I would have to pick out a specific book, it was Parzival, which was written by Wolfram von Eschenbach, who was a German author in the 12th century. And I love that book, and that was actually what got me into medieval history. Is I took a class in it when I was like 18, 19. It was medieval literature, and the Parzival book was interesting to me because there was this one quote about him like riding on horseback through the snow, and he saw 3 drops of blood, and he just stood there transfixed by the 3 drops of blood until he saw an image of his like love and of his life, and then he was hypnotized, and night started to attack him, but because his destiny was not yet to die, he was able to defend himself while still stuck looking at the thing. And finally, a knight that actually had subjectivity came over and was able to read the situation for what it was and covered up the snow, and then he was snapped back out of it. And it was a big metaphor that kind of blew my mind that they were thinking like that in the 12th century. And essentially what it was saying is that you have to read outside the lines, and in society at that time, if you do A or B, or if you don't do A or B, you get attacked. And that's what they were doing. But if you just kind of look at an individual for what they are, there might be more underneath what's going on the outside. So, I don't know, I'm nuts. It just stuck in my head. I don't know why I was even talking about it. Favorite match and partner while you were in Lucha Underground? Well, I only had one match that I really loved, and that was with John Hennigan, and it was right before I tore my bicep. And the funny thing is that we got the match in. We actually went the night before. We were so excited about it, and we put together all this crazy stuff. We went out there and we did everything we wanted to do, and then literally the next day, and I felt like that was a match that finally established me on there, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna get this big push. It's gonna be great. The next day I did a run-in, they clotheslined me over the top, and I ripped my bicep in half. Had to have surgery, was out the rest of that season. That was the end of Lucha Underground. Not because I left, but maybe. And then that's when I had my arm was in a sling, and I couldn't do any of my normal training. So what did I start doing? All my kick drills, and I started just kicking and kicking and kicking. And my friend Albert, who's a stunt guy, he goes by Spiders, his alias. He's a really good martial artist, and he started teaching me all the techniques, and I just started doing that for the next 3 months, and then I came back and I applied it all to my matches, and it kind of changed my style completely. So what happened at the end of Lucha Underground was actually a blessing in disguise. Gave me some cool kick ideas, which I like. And people sometimes like them if I hit them right. So that was a little off. It's okay. So it happens. I got hit in the head with a cell phone, man. I don't know what was going on at the end of that match. How has life changed for you since you joined AEW? Well, I definitely have a steadier income that I never had before on the indies. I was scrounging around. But it's been cool because I was, almost going to give up on the Luchasaurus thing a little bit. It had been a couple years. I've been really trying to do it. Lucha Underground was kind of out of the way. I did a little bit with Ring of Honor, but they didn't want to sign me because they didn't know where to put the character. So I was like, maybe I should drop the mask, not that I'm wearing a mask, but play along. So I stuck with it, though. I had really good friends. I talked about this on the Jericho podcast that told me to stick with it. And then the Bucks gave me a shot. People seemed to like it. It connected with Jungle Boy. It all worked. And then once I'm part of this now, it's just kind of picked up steam, and it's become a cool thing. And people actually like dinosaurs again. It's cool. So it's given me, like I said, it gave me like a stable income where I can just work on my craft. And it's really helped me. Honestly, it's just helped me get better because I can just focus on this and not worry about having to make money from an outside source for now. So thank you AEW for that. That's definitely been a blessing. How do you plan on keeping the legacy of dinosaurs alive? Well, by doing what I'm doing tonight. If I get hit in the head with a cell phone by Sammy Guevara, who's Instagram living during the match, which I'm okay with, but I'm not okay with the cell phone. Why would you want to break a cell phone too on my head? It's pretty hard. So not the cell phone on my head, but. Just doing what I'm doing, keeping the dinosaur legacy alive by showing people that dinosaurs are more than displays in museums, that we have subjectivity, that we don't just go rawr, that we have thoughts and feelings and emotions, and we can play nice with humans. That's what I'm trying to show. It's a new era. It's a new era. It's a new age. I might be talking kind of fast, but it's kind of hard to tell. Okay, let's see. I noticed that that was a Kramer reference from Seinfeld. When you get too many cafe lattes. I noticed that in your match tonight, you seemed to at one point get tapped in the sack. Did that happen to me? Did you see?
I didn't see it.
I did? I honestly, if that happened, I don't remember it. I'm trying to think when that. I don't even.
Oh, this steel.
Yeah. I don't think that happened, but if it did, I blacked it out. So it must have really hurt. Once or twice compared. How is it like working once or twice a week compared to that of other companies? Well, it's tricky because working once a week and sometimes only having like a 6-minute match, I feel like I need to do more on the downtime to stay sharp for sure. You know, especially with what I do out there, a lot of timing things. So I'm training a lot to try to stay always ready. So I definitely ideally like to wrestle twice a week. And it would be cool to have a house show thing here at one point where I could do some more stuff on a match and just kind of stay sharp. I think that's important. Let's do a couple more here. Favorite thing to do in your downtime? Play with my little doggy, with my girlfriend. We got a little golden doodle-saurus named Monkey, and I miss her right now. And I miss my girlfriend who's watching her, and I think she's running this Discord thing. She actually created this thing, which is pretty cool. She knows a lot more about computers than I ever will. And this thing is nice. It's been a very positive thing. We got like 1,200 people in it now. Everyone just wants to talk about wrestling and not like just troll, which is what we're looking to do. You know, go troll on Twitter. Cool, I get it. But it'd be nice to just answer questions and hang out with people that want to talk about wrestling. Who keeps giggling in the background? Is that Marco? I don't know. He's somewhere over there. Okay, let's see here. Joker or the Irishman? I haven't seen the Irishman, but I did like Joker a lot. How do I access Instagram Live? Okay, come on. Really? I'm a dinosaur. I'm 65 million years old, and I'm accessing Instagram Live pretty regularly on my cell phone. You gotta know how to do it. Especially if you're in a Discord chat. That's harder to download than Instagram. This is brand new. I didn't even know what it was until my girlfriend told me about it. Okay, here. Let's see here. And I know I got to go answer all these on the Discord too. Fuck. That's going to be a lot of work for me. Okay. All right. I think that's pretty much all the questions I'll answer for now on this thing. Again, thanks guys. It's been fun. I'm going to go eat a steak or something carnivore. Grass-fed though. All right. Okay.